guess is it will be something to do with derivatives, because they're so hellacial, but they're so mind-numbing that people can't get their head around it. Did you happen to see that thing where it had stacks of $100 bills in relationship to the size of the buildings that these banks are in?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hey, well, I'll put it mildly, they're screwed, brother.
Oh, again, if it goes upside down, if someone, when you're that short, I mean, when those contracts, I mean, you're a naked short like that, all people have to do is call your bluff.
Well, and here's what gets me, okay? I'll let you go in a minute. Here's what gets me, is the bank holiday, I mean, literally, you know, Italy, the bank holiday, are you kidding me? Why have a bank holiday? Wait a minute. Why not let us get our money out? Well, wait a minute. Your money's not there, number one. Number two, 1 to 10 fractional reserve lending. You know, and these people are heroes, man. You know, hey, a big banker, you know, he's there on Sunday while everybody else is out playing golf or going to church. And he's in there, you know, he's taking the, what I would say, a 48 to 72-hour note and dragging the money out and making money off of it and putting it back in there before daylight on Monday. These people are idiots, man.
That's what the overnight lending thing is.
Oh, I know.
And that's what, I mean, what people don't, the other thing people don't grasp is first is they don't even know that the Federal Reserve is private. But the other thing they don't grasp is that their money's not sitting in a vault somewhere. In other words, it's loaned.
It's gone, bro.
It's loaned. When you make it a bank deposit, you are loaning the bank your money.
Sure.
I mean, literally, not figuratively. It goes on their books as a loan.
Yep.
So, I mean, the whole thing just cracks me up, man.
Yeah, me too.
And if I were anywhere in Europe, I would have pulled my money out a long time ago.
Well, yeah, one would hope if they had any money, they would get it out way before this, but...
And you would think that the French would be smarter than that because they've been screwed so many times using this same scam.
Oh, I know!
It's like, how many times do you guys have to get screwed before you figure out you don't save in paper?
Hey, but Jeff, I gotta tell you this, because it was a little bit funny, but yet I hit the button on the radio, almost broke it off. Kenzie was driving home yesterday from over at Pete and Diana's down there at the Swan, and Bob Brinker, Money Talks, was on. Listen to this, brother. The guy called in to talk to Bob Brinker, Money Talks, and he said, man, I was just in Europe and going throughout there, and said the people are catatonic. They're catatonic. They don't even have a clue. And Bob said, well, they don't have a reason to be catatonic because their economy's growing at 0.2 to 0.1%, and they should be happy. They should not be worried about anything. And I hit the daggone radio with my fist. I mean, I didn't break it, but I punched it off. I'm like, I'm not listening to this SHIT is what I told Kenzie.
He's an idiot.
Oh, yeah, sure he is. But you know why? You know why he said what he said? Because he's got it, guess what? He's got some stake in the game. Oh. He's got a whore in the house.
Absolutely. He's got a vested interest.
You better know it.
In the game remaining the same.
Sure.
That's exactly what it is. But I mean, here's this stuff. It cracks me up.
Yeah.
I mean, but what I can't fathom is what it's going to look like when it finally goes unraveled.
Oh, it ain't gonna be pretty, bro.
It's gonna. I mean, I really can't get my head around it because my life has been. It's always been the same. I mean, yeah, we've had, you know, ups and downs as far as the business cycle goes, but the business cycle continues on. You just can't imagine, I mean, you've been driving a car and you've been having a few close calls, you know, going around some curves and stuff, but you just can't imagine the car breaking through the barrier and flying through the air and falling down the Grand Canyon.
Well, yeah, all of a sudden, hey, you know, your steering wheel's getting loose, which is tire rotting in, then all of a sudden, hey, when you go to turn, the steering wheel pulls off and it's sitting in your lap and you're looking at it and there's nothing happening with you. You can turn it all you want to, but the car is going in its own direction off the wheel.
You got it.
Yep.
I mean, that's what got me about being down in being over in California. It's like, my God, if anything goes wrong, they're screwed.
Hey, and I remember you telling me, and don't call his name, but you were talking about getting out of California, Nevada, whatever. unless they have one of those little, gyroplanes or helicopters.
Oh,
yeah, they're screwed.
I mean, if I lived there, I would have myself a gyrocopter that would take off in like 50 feet, and I'd have it in my garage, where I used to live, and if push came to shove, I'd rev the thing up, I'd drive it down to, in the middle of the night, I'd drive it down to the Rose Bowl parking lot and take off.
Yeah. And hope that you made it, 100, 200 miles out of the area of the man-eaters, or whatever you want to call them?
Oh, yeah, and I'm not exactly sure what direction to go, because you can only go east.
Yeah.
And what do you get? I mean, you're not going to go to Vegas. That's worse. The only other thing I can think of is if you live there is they have a reasonably good-sized sailboat.
Yeah.
And hope that you can get to the marina and get the hell out before it hits the fan.
Oh, and it's not only there in that one spot you were thinking about with your friend. Think about it in New York, Atlanta, wherever, Jeff. I mean,
sure.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have, like you said, you got to have a runway. And by the way, if you can't pull that gun thing out of your apartment, out of the closet, and just say, well, I'm going to fly away, oh glory, and I'm being facetious here and sarcastic about the religious stuff, but yeah, I mean, you can't just pull it out and say, well, I'm going to fly away. These people are going to be literally eating each other.
Oh, it will go, it will go through, it will cycle through, like if power goes, it will cycle through, people will wait for the power to come back on, and then when it doesn't come back on, and their water shuts off,
they're going to get pissed.
Oh.
And I'm being polite.
Yeah, I don't even know what that looks like. I don't know. I don't know what happens if you cut their power, if you cut their internet, what happens if you just cut their water, because without power, you got no water.
Well, now, wait a minute. Go back for a minute. Let's leave the water on, and you and I talked about this last week. Let's leave the water on, okay, and electricity. Let's cut their internet. Let's cut it let's cut it, okay? There is no communication anymore in the way they, used to have it. What are they going to do? Like you and I talked about, there'll be a time of withdrawal for you and I, but big deal, 2 days we're done. We'll go somewhere and ride around in an old truck and we're good to go, But these people that depend upon it, and that's their life, they're going to freak out, Jeff. We lost power yesterday. Last night we had a lightning strike and something blew out, a transformer somewhere went out, and so we were out of power for about an hour, and I think a couple days before that we were out for several hours, and it's weird because you're so used to having the internet and television and all the other things, the lights coming on, it's like, oh shit, and but it was still no big deal. It's like, okay, this is inconvenient, but and I may have to pull the generator out. Yeah.
But that's about it. And oh, by the way, on what's the date today? The 19th?
18th.
Well, in 2 days I'm having a 1,000-gallon propane tank put in.
Cool. Oh, and by the way, yesterday, reason you said yesterday a power outage. A friend of mine, Pete, and I were talking, and his cell phone did not work yesterday morning. The AM radio station, 880, was not working for a period of time, and I'm thinking maybe sun flare coming down. Nobody's saying nothing in mainstream news, yeah, because the radio would not even work or nothing, Jeff.
See, that's the part, that's what's going to be really weird.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to be really weird is there's going to come a day where something happens and you think, oh, this is just temporary. And people won't go apeshit immediately. They'll just think, okay, it's just temporary. And then after a while, after several days, they'll figure out, hey, the power's not coming on.
It ain't coming back, and then they'll go, what, unhinged?
Yeah. There's a great, it was a movie done by the History Channel. I think you said you saw it. It was After Armageddon.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly what it would look like.
Yeah.
Is all of us, people will be looking, because there's no food, they're going to be scrambling out, man.
Yeah, it's kind of like the crack addict that, a few days, the guy don't show up to give him anything, he's all right, and then after about 4 days, the guy's in withdrawals, and the guy shakes himself to death. You know, he goes in lunacy because he can't get his fix.
Got it.
Yep.
So, I mean, so imagine that on several levels. Imagine the millions of people that no longer get their meds after a while. They're going to go ape shit from withdrawal. The drug addicts, they will go through withdrawal. The people who take to the internet, they won't even understand that.
And now, hey, let's get on this real quick. What about the people that, you know, they go to get their yogurt or tofu, you know, in nice places like, you know, maybe Kalispell, Whitefish, or whatever, and they depend upon the, you know, the lower people like whoever, maybe, let's use my name, you know, Billy, to go buy their food because they're going to come up here and stay a week, and all of a sudden, guess what? There's no fuel for their jet. There's no way to get up here, and guess what? There is no tofu. There is no yogurt. So what do, Jill? Do they take their big money, those that don't have gold and silver, bullets, beans, rice, whatever, and weapons? They take it and they swipe it and it don't work, and they do it the second time, third time, then they're going to get pissed. They're going to freak out, Jeff. I mean, I don't care how rich they think they are.
Oh, and I sent that, you know, that comparison of the $100 bill to the buildings of the banks.
Yep.
I sent that over to my rich buddy, and his money is basically managed by the bottom company on that list.
Great, goodness.
And he was laughing about it.
Man.
I can't. It's like, dude.
Yeah, wake up, dude.
You're not gonna. You've gone through your entire life with a trust fund. Your trust fund is going to go away. I didn't see that, Tim. It's not my business. It's like, you've been forewarned, dude. You know, I can only tell you so many times. If you don't get it, you don't get it.
I know, and how many flipping people are trying to warn the people and they won't listen?
Oh, plenty.
Well, like you said, low profile, just forget about it, you know?
There's nothing else that you can do. I watched something last night with a guy from Argentina, and he was going like 10 things that will get you killed, you know, that these preppers are talking about. And one of them was making your house look like it's abandoned. He's going, that's like the worst thing you could possibly do. Because the people are out on the roads looking for places to sleep and food to scrounge. Where are they going to go? Are they going to go to the lit up house that looks like someone's there? Or are they going to go to the dark house where it looks like there's...
Well, yeah, the dark house.
Exactly. He's going, this is the most insane thing I've ever heard. Mm-hmm. Does it look like your house has been looted? I don't think so. They're still going to keep coming in and coming in. Think, well, that makes sense. So I got this. I've got this thing that's really cool. It's a light that changes color and hue and all that stuff, and you just set it behind a closed curtain, you know, where the light can get through, and it looks like the television's on.
Oh yeah, I know all about that, bro.
It's like, that's exactly what I mean. You want it to look like someone's at home.
Sure.
And what better way than seeing the television thing going on and off? You know, television screen that looks like it's on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking at this stuff. I'm also, it has taken me a while, but I have finally figured out how to tap into my propane.
Got to stop it there. That is a private conversation from then on. Thank you for being here, End Time Watchman. Hope to see you tonight. If the Creator will give me enough sense to be able to do what I got to do tonight, I will see you then. Thanks for being here. Yahweh bless. Have a great day.